Looks like it worked. We're live.
I really did think, I wasn't joking, I really did think you were talking about Paris, Tennessee. You're like, oh, she's in Paris. I'm like, oh, okay.
She's in France. I was like, I'm gonna give you a wait. I know you're actually going to here. London as well.
Jeez, fancy. Well,
Trying to make sure I have every tab open.
Paris,
Why did that one not open? Man. What in the world?
Milan, Tennessee.
Now it's locked up.
We had a golf tournament there, and I said I was going to Milan, and DJ corrected me.
There it goes.
Milan.
Milan.
Yeah. But if I'm taking my kid there for a high school senior trip, I'm gonna say it's
It's
Milan.
gonna be Milan. 3 weeks.
Hey, Dr. Deloso, how are you?
All right, I have 5:45. I'll call the meeting to order. If everyone would stand for a moment of silence and the pledge. You face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Recorder, if you call the roll.
Chair Laura Harrison,
Present.
Vice Chair Jeremy Burnett,
Here.
Michelle Childs, Keith Acton,
Present.
Deborah Thomas.
We do have a quorum. This is a work session, so we will take a relaxed approach to the agenda. Dr. Horrell, will you lead us through our agenda?
Certainly, the first item on the agenda is the opportunity for public comment.
Would anyone from the public like to speak? Hearing none, next item.
Next item, we'll go to the reports section. Our legislative liaison is not here, but I know she has some updates that she plans to give us at the business meeting from the legislative session. Next, for the superintendent's report, I want to begin by honoring one of our most outstanding students, and I'm going to shift the camera here just a little bit so that we may be in view. Give me just a moment. All right, if I can,
Board members, if we-
y'all can come on down too.
You're used to the camera.
camera.
That's right. All right, so we honored at a recent meeting our students that had made the Tennessee Music Educator Association All-State Choir. And we had several, just a small number because it's a very distinguished company, number of students that made that critical distinction based on their performance under pressure, having to get blind judged by a group of people that are listening to their technical skill and obviously applying their voices to the piece of music there. And Jacob Manns, surprising no one, frankly, but one of our outstanding theater and choir students, Jacob Manns, was one of those students that was honored with an all-state recognition and frankly brought that honor to Lakeland Preparatory School and Lakeland School System. The night that we were going to honor him at the board meeting, this is just how busy and in demand he is, he was actually opening the program for the LPS Theater Company's awards show, is that right? So he couldn't be in both places at the same time. So we said, we'll come back next month and we will honor you. And I didn't bring his certificate, and that is my fault. But we're going to have a certificate for Jacob like we did for everybody else. But mainly, we just want to recognize you and thank you for your accomplishment and for all the great things you do and bring to the school. You're a great guy, and we love having you there. But mainly, thanks for just earning this award and showing everybody the great things that are going on at Lakeland Prep. So we appreciate it. So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to get a picture here. And we'd like to invite everybody up, family included, and Dr. Deloso, if y'all want to come up, we'd like to get a photo with everybody, with you in the middle. Y'all,
Family, please.
no, you get. I'm on the outside. Family's on the inside.
You yelled the loudest, so you need to be right next to me.
All right. You're going to have to go higher than that. The kids tell me you got to go higher.
I know, that's what we do.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, got it.
Okay, now go do one from a higher angle. There you go. That's what the kids say.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Otherwise, I'm going to have double chins.
That's right, exactly. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for coming. Congratulations. Yes, we're so proud of you. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Mr. Vance, would it be nice if I mailed you your certificate? I actually
You're certainly welcome to stay, but you don't have to stay the rest of the meeting.
I said, ooh, they
3 years I took all the pictures. And they brought in the ringer.
All right.
I got the monitor.
Oh.
Oh, you got to switch? Oh.
My notes on it. Oh, yeah.
Are you doing the honors diploma?
Yeah.
You can,
Good choice.
We didn't bring our piece of paper.
so
Hey,
just.
turnabout is fair play, right? I didn't bring your piece of paper, you didn't bring yours. So, no, we'll get it
connect
signed.
or we'll
Come
figure
see
out
us.
how to
Yep.
get that. Okay.
And my guess is tonight would be a good night to stay.
Tonight would be a good night to stay.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so we will continue with that was part of the superintendent's report. I do have a few exciting things I want to just share with everybody. And the board is aware of most of these, but we like to share these with the public. So first of all, officially today, the Lakeland School System District Office moved to 3009 Davies Plantation Road. We moved everything out of Lakeland Preparatory School, and we had 3 offices at Lakeland Elementary School and moved out of those on Friday. And our employees that were on the clock today and this time of year and didn't have duties elsewhere reported to the new district office. So it was very, very exciting to be there. There's still some work going on, but it's been painted inside and out, and we've had some new walls put up, and it's clean and sparkly most places, and we're just very excited to all be in the same place. Hosted the principals today for the first time, and again, I want to show my appreciation for the board for making that possible. We certainly, as we've said, explored every single option for where our district office would be, and I think because of the patience and the desire to make sure we were doing the right thing with taxpayer dollars, we were very patient, and I think that paid off. And we've got a great space at a very good price, I think, for our employees and for the Lakeland community. So that's great. A few other announcements. If you didn't see it, we were named by the National Association of Music Merchants as a Best Community for Music Education for the 7th year in a row for Lakeland School System, so we're always excited about that. We are busily planning for our system-wide in-service that'll be here before we know it, next school year. Wanted to give an update on the video board. We actually have movement on the video board at the football stadium, and if anybody is driving through there, I think they'll start to see that action on the end zone, and I think those boards will start going up, if not even this evening, by tomorrow. So all the infrastructure work has been done. We want to say again how grateful we are to the City of Lakeland for completely covering the costs of that. That will involve a brand new sound system that I think between those two things is going to significantly enhance the environment there at the stadium for our football and lacrosse and soccer and cheer and marching band and all the track, thank you, track and field, all the other activities that happen there. So it's very exciting to see that done. We are also working through, I think, the final pre-construction phases for the LES Outdoor Pavilion project. We're certainly hoping to have that ready for the first day of school, but if it isn't ready for the first day of school, it'll be ready shortly thereafter. Obviously, we need to congratulate again the Lakeland Preparatory High School baseball team, state champions in only the 3rd year of the high school's existence. Obviously, that's been covered widely in the media and celebrated in the community, as it should be. And I've noted to some others, I have never been, despite the 3 high schools where I've worked, I've never been a school administrator at a time where one of the teams won a state championship before. So it's not something everybody gets to experience, certainly not something I take for granted or that I think anybody should. Very, very big deal, and want to congratulate not only the team, but Coach Godwin, Coach Benjamin, and Coach Gore for their efforts, and frankly want to congratulate and thank all the students that played on those programs and helped get us there. Also want to congratulate Truman Hames, I'm sorry, is it Heems? How do we say Truman? Truman Heems, who was recently recognized with the Outstanding Student Technical Achievement Award at the Orpheum High School Musical Theater Awards. We had several nominations for the Descendants and had a great showing, and some students that participated in the presentation that night. Want to again recognize a lot of fine arts recognitions tonight, but the Tennessee Arts Academy, just to note again, named Lakeland Preparatory High School as an arts-rich school of merit. We have recently found out that we were not named as the school of the year, but it is a huge honor to have been named as a school of merit, and we planned on sending some representatives to the awards ceremony that will take place later in June. So again, congratulations to all those students. Couple of just announcements. There is going to be a brand new event, a Meet the Lions Night, Friday, August 1st. If folks are marking their calendars at Lakeland Preparatory School, we'll welcome family, friends, and the Lakeland community to meet the sports teams for fall 2025. The marching band will be there, food trucks. It's going to be a great event that folks are getting fired up about already. So a lot of great things going on, and we're very busy at the district office and preparing already for next year, and HR and end-of-year processes and the end of the fiscal year and everything else. So certainly open to any questions if there are any.
Are there any questions for the superintendent?
Okay.
The
Thank
only
you.
thing I will add another thing, plug for the City of Lakeland for their
thank you.
their
Yep.
event at our facilities. So,
Yes.
Go ahead.
That is a City of Lakeland event, but the City of Lakeland Freedom Celebration, I think is what they're calling it, will be July 3rd?
5th.
Is it, oh, I got it
I
wrong.
think it's the 5th. Is that Saturday?
I'm going to check it.
I think it's July 5th, the Saturday.
You were correct.
Yeah.
Yep, July 5th. Thank you. It will be at the Lakeland Preparatory School Annex. It is completely being run by the City of Lakeland, but we have partnered with them, and we're excited to see them use the facility in that way for a public display like that. I got to go to the test firing to check the visibility, and it's really going to look great from there. So there was only a couple. We wanted to do like a lot. It was like pop, but it was a big one. It was good. So that'll be exciting. But thank you for noting that. Any other questions or comments there?
All right, hearing none, next item.
Okay, the monthly financial summary is attached to the agenda, so anybody can check that out if we like, and we can, if you'd like, and we can also follow up on that at the business meeting, but everything is as it should be as we move toward the end of this financial year, so nothing out of the ordinary to report there. Next item on the agenda, this is a work session, so the approval of the agenda is not necessary. We have a number of items on the consent agenda. And I would like to do one thing. Item number 3 on the consent agenda, approval of 25-26 textbook fines. This is how efficient this board is. Y'all already did that. Y'all did that in May, and there's actually no changes here, and I apologize for not catching that. It's not an update. It's exactly the same, so we can just remove that if there's no objection from the board.
No objection from the board, so that item number 3 will be removed from the business meeting agenda next week, or item number 3 on the consent agenda will be removed from the business meeting agenda for next week. Are there any items in the consent agenda the board would like to move to any discussion action for next week, or is everything? All right, hearing none, all items will be moved to the consent agenda for next week's business meeting.
And can I make 2 more
Yes.
requests?
Yes.
Item 2 on the consent agenda and item 6, they're both nutrition related, the annual nutrition form. The nutrition form has not been released by the state, so we'd like to push that to July, and would also like to push the charge-offs of cafeteria accounts to July if necessary.
Not a problem. So those items will be carried over to the July agenda without objection. All right, next item.
Okay, next item, as we move to the discussion action items, the first item on the agenda is approval of update to policy 4.400, instructional materials. I can speak to that. if you'd like.
You have the floor, Dr. Horrell.
Okay, this was at the request of Mr. Burnett. We had some conversations about just making sure that specifically that the materials that are being utilized in the classroom and certainly anywhere meet the intent of the Age Appropriate Materials Act. And there was some suggested changes to the language, and I know Mr. Burnett had made some, kind of worked on that further and had some further suggestions that I think would be improvements as well.
Essentially, if I may, Madam Chair,
Yes.
Dr. Horrell and I emailed and worked on that to add a second sentence. After that, edit the highlighted section to say, the superintendent shall develop and oversee procedures and controls to ensure compliance with this legislation.
Is there any discussion on that change?
Question, I'm assuming that this has been vetted by TSBA or some sort of an attorney that's vouching for this?
Well, so basically, it's consistent with our own policy. So, I mean, we already have the policy that meets the requirements of the Age Appropriate Materials Act. It's just in a different, it's in a different part of the policy manual. And so what this would do is basically just highlight it in the instructional materials policy as well.
I have a request. So the Age Appropriate Materials Act of 2022, can we get the reference put?
It would absolutely be referenced, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that
it would
we-
be cited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's part of what TSBA does for us.
Okay.
So we would request that.
Any more, so the request, can you, I assume you have, did you get the sentence or
I have the sentence.
you have it? Okay.
I've got it in email. Yep.
Can you repeat or?
Sure will.
One of y'all?
The superintendent shall develop and oversee procedures and controls to ensure compliance with this legislation.
So, is there any objection at this point, other than,
I have no objection. I just want to understand, would this normally fall under the superintendent purview?
Essentially, essentially the superintendent's responsible for, ensuring compliance with the entirety of the policy manual at the end of the day. So that sentence is common parlance throughout the policy manual. So it certainly, doesn't make me uncomfortable or feel like it gives me additional.
I will say, in other places in the policy manual, we have superintendent or designee, so that gives the ability to delegate it, but still ultimately the buck stops with you. So is there any objection to having the superintendent or designee, so that certainly it still is your responsibility, but you can delegate certain parts of it or development of a procedure or whatever to someone else, so you aren't necessarily typing up the Word document that is, but you're responsible for the overseeing it. Is there any concern with that?
I think that's a wonderful, friendly amendment.
All right.
It's a great confirmation and clarification on the desire of the instructional materials. I think it's appropriate, and I have no problem with it.
Okay. So do we want to put this item on the discussion action, or would we want to put it on the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I was going to ask if we'd be open to moving it to consent agenda.
I'm fine with that, with the changes.
Yep.
With the changes.
As long as our two
Absolutely.
other members don't have any concerns next week.
And they
but-
can pull it off the agenda next week. Yep.
All right.
Okay, so we'll move this item to consent agenda. I guess it would be number 4 or 5. I'll let y'all keep up with which one it is. I'm not
got
sure.
it.
So, all right, next item.
Next item is approval of update to policy 6.204, foreign exchange students.
Dr. Horrell, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so this board passed what was discussed at the time as being a pilot for our foreign exchange program. We intentionally limited it to a fairly low number and said that we would accept 2 foreign exchange students. We wanted to make sure that our internal procedures were okay and that we weren't opening up something that we weren't ready to handle. And also, if the question's asked, why limit it at all, there are implications for adding additional students. Depending on how many students there are, it could necessitate the hiring of additional teacher or, different sections of things. So, we certainly still want to have some controls on it, but everybody felt comfortable that at this point 2 was probably too low. So the proposal that we're bringing to the board is to raise that to 6. We'll continue to monitor it year after year, but we did have a very successful pilot with our foreign exchange program, and would welcome the opportunity for a few more students.
Any discussion on this item?
I do have one. I was going to ask if it's still intended to have on page 2, line 10 and 11, for the student to be classified no higher than 11th grade.
So essentially, could you have seniors, people that are doing their senior year, or is there a problem with that? I don't know.
Let me follow up
I guess from a
on
graduation
that.
standpoint.
I think it might get, I don't know that we want a student in there,
Right.
And it's referenced down below in line
you're right.
12, no student who has completed the equivalent of the 12th grade in their home country has received a diploma or a certificate of graduation or is considered eligible for college or university placement will be eligible to attend Lakeland Prep School.
Why don't I follow up on that just to
Fair
be sure?
enough.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one that we can move to the consent agenda with just
If you'll
this-
just provide the board some clarification on,
You got it.
that'd be great.
Apologies, I should have caught that earlier.
No, that's okay. That's a good question.
So that'll move to the consent agenda, either 5 or 6, not sure which one it is, but 5 or 6, and then you'll provide the board clarification on that part of it. All right, next item.
Next item is the approval of the 25-26 protected reading lists. It's okay, Mr. Burnett, I'll note that he actually had requested some follow-up conversation with me about that list, and I'm certainly happy to do that if that's.
So we will leave this item on the discussion action since y'all potentially have changes or updates or whatever to that. So we'll leave that on the discussion action item. Is there any issue with that? And I know you've got some follow-up items you're going to do. Okay. All right. Next item.
Next item is the approval of LSS job description, Director of Instruction. What I can tell you, this came out of the budget process and was just one that was not ready for the last meeting, and we are very consistent about making sure that the board approves job descriptions before the new positions begin, and this one begins in July, so we just wanted to bring this before the board.
Any discussion on this item?
My only question, but I probably asked you, but I've slept since then, so I apologize. I did note that it's a 10.5-month position, and I know in some of our conversations, you've talked about moving some of these positions to 12-month positions.
if that's what this says, then that is a good catch. And
It's
The very last
This
line.
is the very
line
last
item.
line, yeah.
No, we need to update that. That is intended to be a 12-month position.
Okay.
That is a 12-month
So
position.
can, any objection to this being on the consent agenda with the change to it being a 12-month position?
Good with that.
Thank
All
you.
right, so this item will be on the consent agenda with the change for it to be a 12-month position.
Perfect.
All right, Dr. Horl, next item.
The next item is lettering.
And I think that, and you and I had a discussion about this, I think this will be carried over, you've got some work to do, and there have been people working not in town on these great state achievements, but
Yeah,
they haven't
tied
been
up
able.
doing other great things.
Yes.
Yes,
So, this will carry over potentially to our July meeting.
perfect.
All right, Dr. Horn, next item.
Next item is finalize the superintendent evaluation.
Is there, so they'll do the presentation on the evaluation results next week, or you want to do it tonight?
I think we typically would do it tonight, I think is the
Okay,
intention.
that's fine.
Whenever you'd like it, I can
I'm
present
ready for it now, but I just didn't know if you were
Yeah, I think
prepared.
tonight was.
All right.
Yes, go for it.
All right, so yes, that time of year, the superintendent evaluation. I should probably just, before I get to the results, just for the public, remind everybody what this is. Under Lakeland School Board policy, every year, the superintendent is evaluated by the school board, and there is a format that is used, and it's pretty similar from year to year. It's a little different this year in one way. The various subjects on which the superintendent is graded, it's a 5-point scale this year, had been 6-point scale for a while, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. And then there's 6 categories that the superintendent is graded on: leadership and strategic vision, board relations, community engagement and communication, operational and financial management, student achievement and accountability, and then integrity, fairness, and ethics. And Dr. Horrell, each board member grades the superintendent on all these things, and Dr. Horrell, once again, got a very high score. It was a 4.88, which is fairly close to a 5.0, which would, of course, be the highest he could get. In one category in particular, community engagement and communication, Dr. Horrell did receive a perfect 5 score. And that's it. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has anybody.
Any discussion on Dr. Horrell's review? Go ahead.
If I might, I just want to have a comment. Dr. Horrell, it clearly reflects that this board has great confidence in you, we're incredibly comfortable with you. I think there is absolutely no doubt that 5 on community engagement communication speaks to the level of professionalism, competence that we have. We're extremely glad. I'm extremely glad as a board member to have you as a colleague, as someone that many people may not know, but Dr. Horrell and I have a habit of having phone calls at 7:30 in the morning while we're both driving into work. And we have very frank conversations sometimes, but it's great to be able to have a frank conversation and have pushback, and it informs and changes my mind many times, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll echo the sentiment. I think Dr. Horrell has done an amazing job from, I guess it's been 11 years. We're at 11 years. Geez, it goes by fast. So I can't thank you enough. I think, this is a reflection of how strong our confidence is in what you're doing and how you've grown our school system and the way in which, not just that you've grown it, but the way in which you've done it. And I think that it echoes throughout the school system, just how positive your leadership, the culture in our school system, really, it's just amazing. It's an amazing place to be. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable for families. It's enjoyable for staff to come to work and just to be a part of our school system. So I thank you for everything you do every single day. And with that, I will ask the board's permission to add an item to the agenda. The discussion action, it would be for the board chair to negotiate a contract extension for Dr. Horrell. Any objection to adding that to next week? For the Basically, it would be approving the board chair to negotiate and bring back a contract extension for Dr. Horrell in the July meeting.
I think that's a wonderful idea, and thank you.
All right. Any objection? All right, so that item will go on the regular agenda. And I guess it would be number, I've lost count. I'll let y'all figure it out.
We'll figure that out, yeah.
All right, next item.
Let me say, if I may,
Yes.
I appreciate, I don't take for granted the confidence of the board or the relationship that we have. This board is an absolute pleasure to work with, and you board members are the ones that put yourselves out there and on the line through the election process and make yourselves accountable to the public. And I also appreciate the very honest discourse that we have, and I think those conversations and your passion for doing the right thing for kids have gotten us where we are today, and the other thing that's gotten us where we are today are the folks that work with me in Lakeland school system, and we wouldn't be the success that we are without the support staff all the way down, from the district office to the schools to everybody else. It's a wonderful community. It's a blessing to serve Lakeland, and again, I appreciate the confidence and the feedback, so thank you. All right.
All right. There are no further items on the agenda. Is there any announcements?
I want to add one thing that I've left off. I think there's so much going on. Should have noted this, though. We had a great first day today of a number of different camps and things that are happening in our schools. The district office isn't the only place where the action was today. We had both of our summer learning camps that are happening at the elementary and Lakeland Prep. Our extended school year camp for some of our students with special needs that we are hosting for the first time. We've typically partnered with Arlington, but thanks to Ms. Gay and Dr. DeLoso, we are hosting those students for the first time, and that kicked off today, as well as kindergarten camp kicked off today. We had Camp Invention that kicked off last week. So did I miss anything, Dr. Deloge? It's
There's probably more. There always is.
I know we've got strength.
Yeah.
There's strength camps happening
Yes.
for the kids out on the football fields that I'm seeing. So just like always, it's a very busy time.
Yes. I don't think the campus is ever empty. Maybe the TSSAA Dead Week. That's the only
time it gets close.
And then
yeah.
we're going to have an outdoor festivity for the city of Lakeland. So
That's right.
It's not going to be vacant then either.
No.
So, anyways, any further announcements? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion. I'll make a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?